Yo, 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 what's happening, ladies and gentlemen? What is good? Joe Roberts, thanks to you, Tino, my wife was able to find my Vector candle. What a guy. What a way to start the live stream tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Courtesy of Joe Roberts. Thank you very much, my man. That's really cheered me up. Ladies and gentlemen, just so that you are aware, I may have cracked my clavicle. Straight up. Whilst we wait for all the attendees to approach the live, this is an unannounced live, but I was going to do a video, but I thought, let me update everyone tonight, given that we've had some interesting price action by Bitcoin today. So yeah, my 4-year-old daughter decided to jump on the back of my neck, stepped on it kind of thing. And yeah, we are where we are. X-ray booked in because the pain is just next level. So currently on a good amount of painkillers. So if I start going off and beyond topics that would be normal to the Traders Reality stream, please be sure to put it in the comments of the video if you are new to the channel that you've experienced one of Tino's infamous boomer moments. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, mad love and respect for all you beautiful people passing through. Thank you for coming on this live stream now, taking time out of your day to make sense of what Bitcoin is doing. So let's have a conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Let's roll with it. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to do my best to keep this short and sweet, as I always try to. Now listen, Bitcoin has had a very interesting day. Everything's moved up. Is it the recovery? Or are we in line for another trap? Is Mr. Market Maker really going to give us the luxury of keeping Bitcoin moving further and further to the upside? Are they finished with building their longs? Are they? Because we still had from earlier on, last night, say, we had it was actually $20 billion worth of shorts in the chart. If you watched last night's stream, we were only at 14. So they added another $6 billion worth of shorts, given that Bitcoin did actually drop to the downside after last night's live stream, and they took out key notable areas. Happy days. Okay? But the move is too fast, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin hasn't actually gone anywhere substantial. It's just a nice quick run for liquidity. Okay? Looking at the chart of High Block itself, we can see, as it stands, there is now $8 billion worth of shorts in the given range. And that looks like there's still a lot of shorts. We are now total long liquidations at 525 and total short liquidations 985. So let's just round it off for the nature of demonstration. 500 longs and 1,000 shorts. There's still liquidity for them to grab. How can we make sense of this, ladies and gentlemen? What has fueled this move? Well, a platform that I usually turn to when we want to make sure we understand what stocks and shares are doing is IBD. Okay? And today's price action may have been fueled by the idea of China and the coronavirus outbreak. Okay? So we see today oil stocks fall on China COVID outbreak. Right there. What were we talking about last night, ladies and gentlemen? We were talking about the disparity between oil and Bitcoin and what could we understand about it. So if I break the charts down, we're going to have a little bit of an understanding as to what the story was. So let's get crude oil up. Okay? Crude oil today, okay? No, this isn't right. What is going on with this? No, it's the wrong contracts. Of course it's the wrong contracts. Bear with me a second. Let me just get this up. Go to all crude oil futures. Let's click this bad boy. Here we go. There we are. So just look at the disparity between the two. Oil drops, Bitcoin rises. So if oil's dropping, how far is it going to keep dropping to give us the idea that Bitcoin is going to continue further up? Let's look at oil. Because remember, the idea of oil is this. If oil is expensive, the average person isn't going to have spare cash to get into the game of speculation. Most companies are not going to be investing anywhere else other than commodities, given the current circumstances around the world. Commodities always do well when there is pending recession, problems in the economy. Okay? So if oil is starting to pull back right now, could this be the mark for Bitcoin to continue further up? But the economy is still the same. We still got a war going off. There's still the conversation about inflation. What's the Fed going to do? Where are the interest rates at? What's the sentiment like with traders? Is this just another opportunity to mark oil down lower in anticipation for it to move back up again? Look at the higher time frames on oil. Seems to be doing pretty well right now. Holding. Consolidating. Building. We've got this point of interest in the chart above here. Vector candle points. Because unless they break these areas of resistance, support and resistance, we are consolidating, waiting for the next move. What's Bitcoin going to do on that instance? Now, this video is, or this live stream is geared towards the holders so that they understand where we are across the board. Let me flip the chart over. As you can see, Bitcoin is now stuck at the 200 EMA. The 800 EMA on the 1 hour time frame is always the moving average that gives us a bit more information. The 200 EMA, well, let's put it like this, guys. It's not that strong if it hasn't been acting as a strong resistance. Okay? I mean, if you look at it, they keep coming into the 200. Where it's more impressionable is at the 800. But the 200 EMA for Bitcoin right now, it looks like it's acting as a resistance. But how long will this resistance go on for? This is the key question. Okay? Look. By principle of the vector candles, this is the zone. This is where Bitcoin in principle could come back down towards. Okay? The aggressive nature of the move to the upside, if you look carefully, although it's not in vector candles, inside there are vector candles. 1, 2, and 3 hits to the high. Now they're stalling. Okay? What can we get from this information? Is Mr. Market Maker gone for the liquidity? Will he then reverse price, come down and test the moving averages? Because one of the criterias on the 1 hour time frame is the 5 and 13 EMA need to be above the 50, and we don't have that yet. Look, what are you doing, bro? The 5 and 13 EMA are not fully over the 50 EMA. You are looking for momentum to be established. Look at it when it moves above or below. Look, this is what you want to see. This right here, commitment over the 50 EMA. You want to see the 5 and 13 move across the 50 EMA and expand. Once they contract, you'll understand where you are in terms of the move. First consolidation, then they move up to the upside. Third consolidation, then they shift out to the upside. What do you see? 1, 2, 3 hits to the high. Market maker business model all over again. Okay? What do we have here? Is Mr. Market Maker going to run towards liquidity? Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you had just this chart and nothing else, all you would see is price going down and then back up and then down and then back up. Okay? Something quite impressionable would need to happen to Bitcoin, okay, to move it towards the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s. That is my opinion. Because the way trading goes and the way the markets move, all they are doing most of the time is consolidating. That's all they are doing. Okay? And then they shift out of their ranges. people will say, hold on a second, Tino, if they always come back to the vector candles, then how does price increase in value? Well, what reason do people have to put more money into Bitcoin right now? Just look at the charts right here. Let me take this one. Look at the totals. Okay. Cryptocurrency overall, $1.82 trillion. Well, if we're going to see an all-time high, ladies and gentlemen, we need to see a good, look, $2.16 trillion worth of liquidity needs to come back into the marketplace. Okay? There is a lot of liquidity that needs to come back in. But the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, how do we know that we can't make the assumption that new money will only come in once it goes above 2.15? How do we not know that new money is starting to come in here? Yeah? If we look across the board, ladies and gentlemen, on the crypto market cap itself, we can see that there are there is a lot of coins across the board that are showing vector candles on the 1 hour time frame. So your goal as traders, ladies and gentlemen, is to go into all your coins, whether you go into BNB, Ethereum, whether you go into any altcoins themselves, and try and find vector candles to understand which of the coins is going to break down first. Will it be Bitcoin or will it be other coins itself? Let's check it out right now. Let's just go over here. Ethereum. Where's the vectors for Ethereum? Okay, we got one vector zone right here. All right. So we need to be aware of this with Ethereum, just so that we're not caught out and surprised by anything. Okay, we got another point right here, ladies and gentlemen. Always mark these off in the chart so that you're not biased to one direction. Ethereum could even shift out towards the 800 EMA. We'll have more information about this move, but I'll tell you this now. Whenever you guys find an altcoin, okay, that moves aggressively towards moving averages like this and like this, it's usually on a news play. And if it's not on a news play, okay, you are left to question the validity of the move. So, as always, you are waiting for confirmation of the move. Now, if Ethereum or Bitcoin decide to just shoot up, okay, even that, in my honest opinion, ladies and gentlemen, it would be one of those moves where it would be a gamble. It would be a gamble. Because if it just keeps on moving up, you're just hoping that you're going to try and catch the last 10, 20% of the move. It's not a strategy that you really want to be testing with. Okay? Billy from Philly, what's good, bro? Yeah? What is happening? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What is good? Who's in the room tonight with me, man? Sorry, guys. You know, mad love and respect. Is everybody in here? Wicked, wicked. To anybody new to the channel, of course, be sure to like and subscribe, because tonight I shouldn't be going live, but we needed to go live just to bring in the understanding of what's going on and make sense of it, because tomorrow it's a very important day. Okay? Very important. We have got quite a few news announcements, okay, in the sense where we've got earnings reports, and this was shared kindly by one of the guys in the Patreons. These are the earnings reports coming out this week. You can see we've got the big players coming out this week with information, okay? Earnings results. This could lead to quite a bit of volatility, okay? When I say volatility, it means that on the basis that Bitcoin is following the NASDAQ. So if we pull up the NASDAQ, you can see they've had a great day today. Nice, great move to the upside. Happy days. 50 EMA, sort of a bit of a rejection point, but they've moved away from the lows. Okay? If we look at the yields themselves, ladies and gentlemen, we can see bright as day that risk is off. Hold on a second. Hold on. What's that mean? Why is risk off? Why are they putting their money to the government? Because, you know, you come to the government for the yields, yeah? So if this is dropping, what does that entail? What's gold doing? Where's gold? Wait a second. Have I got my bearings right? Gold's dropped down. Okay. I thought Bitcoin followed gold. Clearly not. So that gives us more of an understanding here. Is this a trap? Is this going to be one of those classic market maker moves? So that whatever earnings results come out tomorrow, the likes of Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, these big cap stocks, they move markets. And if they miss their estimations or they miss their earnings targets, the people in traders are going to reflect that. And they're going to start shifting out of those stocks. The narrative will change. Has Bitcoin, in principle, given us the heads up on the idea that if over this week the information is bad, is it going to come back down? That's just me speculating, ladies and gentlemen. There's no guarantees in the game of trading. There's nothing guaranteeing the way you say, okay, it's got to go up, it has to go down. Nah. If you're of that mindset, trading is not for you, and you will be one of the liquidity providers for the pattern watchers. Simple as that. We're working on the idea we don't know what's going to happen next. All we can go by is what have they done, where have they ended up, and how likely are they going to come to one point to the next. That's why swing traders, okay, tend to have a bit of a problem. They expose themselves to quite a lot of drawdown. Eventually, the coin or the asset that they're trading is going to go into their narrative, at least at some point. They've just got to have the grit and the capital to be able to withstand those drawdowns. Can be a little bit of a tricky game. Me, ladies and gentlemen, scalping, day trading, I like those guarantees of being able to be in control of my liquidity, where I can put it in and take it out. Done. Fast in, fast out. That's all we focus on. Yeah? Are we cool with that so far, ladies and gentlemen? Are we cool with that? Am I short-term bullish or bearish? Man, look, bullish and bearish are, bullish and bearish are very interesting concepts. They are emotional triggers, okay? They are emotional triggers. And something that has caught to my attention as well today, ladies and gentlemen, and we can't deny it, as much as it gets some slack. Let's have a look at Dogecoin today. Interesting. Very interesting move to the upside. Now, as always, when you see, look, this just doesn't, it's not right. This is classic altcoin madness, okay? Look at the big move to the upside. Yeah? Sharply coming, where's it going? Where has it been? I mean, look, if we look at it logically, just look at this. Comes back into the vector candles. Let's mark off the ranges. Where are we at? Here we go. Okay, it's managed to recover some of the vector candle. But whatever news has come out about Dogecoin, this is why I try and sometimes focus on the news and sometimes not, but I want to see the chart reflect the impression of the news. Already, when you see this big push to the upside, something's going off. Anyone with a brain would take along. What it does afterwards, well, you would set your risk parameters, because the thing is, you can be as cautious as you want, but unless you decide to commit the liquidity, you will never know exactly where you stand. All right? So when you see this sort of play out of the norm, what's it been doing? It's been dropping down, dropping down, dropping down. Out of the norm, spike to the upside. Do not make the mistake of Dogecoin going to the moon. This is not going to the moon. This ain't even going to the park. Okay? This is just a blip in the chart. They will naturally bring it back into the range. They've gone beyond the range weekly high. They've gone beyond absolutely everything. They've just eaten the shorts. So Dogecoin, in essence, has done exactly what Bitcoin should do in relation to the short liquidations, so that we have more information about what they can do next. Why? Because there's still liquidity here for them to take. Not as many, more shorts than there are longs. Okay, what have we got here? $149 million worth of longs opened in this range right here and more. Okay, total we've got 8 billion. So from 20, we've had a good $12 billion worth of shorts eaten alive. Okay, are they going to continue higher, or are they going to rip it down? 20% increase, man. What on earth is that? Absolutely madness. Okay, Now, let's look at where Bitcoin currently resides with orders in the order book, ladies and gentlemen. I said I want to keep this short and sweet. And then I'm going to go into the higher time frames for the holders, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. This is the book map. All right. So we can understand exactly what Bitcoin is doing across 5 exchanges. And we'll see where the liquidity resides on there. Okay. So I'll wait for that to just load up for a second. Here we go. Now, quite interestingly enough, as much as it looks like there's more liquidity up here, these, of course, are orders that have not been placed fully, cancelled, maybe previously as well over here. I'm not really seeing that much liquidity further down just yet. But that doesn't mean it won't go down. Okay? What I'm saying is I'm seeing the liquidity is contained in this area. Cancellation of a couple of orders here and here as well. They keep cancelling. If you notice these cuts in the chart are cancellations of the orders. Anything across here, ladies and gentlemen, is orders that are being placed and filled. Okay, these are the results of those orders being placed. Okay, so it looks like they're doing a pretty decent job of containing this range. I'm not really seeing the volatility that I want to see. If I zoom out, a lot of liquidity at 38k. So 187 Bitcoin at 38,000. So to make sense of that, ladies and gentlemen, okay, we go to 38,000 and we see that is, of course, in and around this range. If we mark off the 38k range itself, ladies and gentlemen, we can see that there'll be 2 structures they'll be breaking. They'll be breaking this structure right here and go left, and you'll see they'll be going in towards the blue vector candle range that we were speaking about. Okay, right there. Frankly, if Bitcoin does break beyond the 38, then there could be a promise of them coming in towards the 37,500 zone. But you can see what price is doing right now, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? You can see that they've marked price higher. Could this be a trap? In order for the confirmation of the move to the upside, you want to wait until Bitcoin comes down, tries to come back up. If it fails to break out from this range, they would need to break down lower, which would complete the pattern. Okay? If they keep moving higher from this point, at least wait to determine if the 5 and 13 EMA are going to show strength. Because it's a tricky time to go long in here, ladies and gentlemen. Very tricky time. Just be cautious. Don't think that you're missing out on anything, because you're not. The move has already happened. You can't think that you're missing out on something that you don't know if it's going to happen or not. Doesn't make sense. That's like being scared of the unknown. Well, what have you got to be scared of? Because there's nothing to know. You can't be scared of something that doesn't exist. That's just your mind playing tricks on you. But when I play Phasmophobia, I get really scared. I don't understand why. Go check it out on Twitch. Apparently it's quite a laugh. I play the game with Mike Dutch and I lose my mind on that game. Which, you know, that's for another conversation. Anyways, 1,300 of you in the room. Mad love and respect, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for passing through. And remember, if you are new to this channel, pinned to the top of the chat is the download for these indicators. They are free of charge. So go to the Traders Reality website and get all that information. And of course, listen, it's coming towards the end of a month. Do not join the Patreon until the start of a new month. If you do join it, mad love and respect. You learn a little bit more about the hybrid system. Great community in there. But you'll be charged twice if you join in this side of the month. Wait till the start of a new month. Don't do it before the end of this month. Don't, you'll get charged twice. So, the question now resides, ladies and gentlemen. Is Bitcoin now worthy to go higher, or is Bitcoin going to start making some movement to the downside? Drop to the lower time frames, mark off your vector candle points, and understand where is price. Smack bang at that 800 on the 15-minute time frame. That's true. It's above the psychological high. That's true. Any follow through? Nope. It stinks. I don't like it. Maybe the fears of the coronavirus outbreak in China, maybe that's going to fuel some more activity tonight in Asia. Again, wait until Asia opens. Do not trade beforehand. Okay? So mark off. This would be the start of a new daily candle. This area. 12 o'clock tonight UK time. All right? That'll be Tokyo. Then an hour later, it will be Hong Kong. So you mark that off. This is your trading window. Preparation. And then, of course, you'll have the Frankfurt market that will open at 7 UK time. So you have an opportunity to get yourself rested up. Go on the hunt for some coins. Find them. Are they basing out? Are they preparing to make a move? Do not trade before Asia. Sydney's open right now, and they call it the dead gap time, where Mr. Market Maker can widen the spreads and hit people's orders. That's why you see around about this time in the evening, they usually go up and down quite aggressively and they wick the ranges. Wait until Tokyo. Because whatever Sydney does right now marks price down low and, for example, hits a psychological high. Tokyo may come in, initiate a stop hunt rise to the upside, make you believe that the psychological high is coming with support, and then Hong Kong will open and then they will smack the chart down to the downside. So you've got to be careful. Wait until both markets are open so you know exactly where you stand on how they've absorbed the idea that the index is reversing and oil stocks dropping on the China COVID outbreak. So you're waiting for people to respond to the news today. Okay? Wonderful. Let me just quickly pull up some altcoins for you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a look at who's been killing it today. Trias. Nice move. This is what you want to see, guys. This is it. Here it is. Clean cut away from the 50 EMA. Nice trading above the 200 EMA. 5 and 13 EMA. Expanding to the upside. Happy days. That's cool. Okay? You're looking for this sort of structure. Contractions in the 5 and 13 EMA, you are waiting for an aggressive move down below those moving averages and breaking into the 50 for you to declare that they're going to change direction. Okay? Looking at Carver. Carver, man. Wow. Wow. That $5 mark. $5.50 on its way, man. This is crazy. Okay? 1, 2, 3 hits to the high. It's drifting up ever so slightly. So we got to be careful with that. Luna, to its own, may start breaking down. Look how it... Mad days. I think the patrons will know this. Look how they're respecting these levels, man. Vector candle range. Taps it, shifts back down, man. Absolutely phenomenal. Luna's a good coin, in my opinion, for trading-wise. It's a very good coin. I've been paying a lot of attention to it, so... I got my thumbs up for Luna, man. Coty, nice spike to the upside. Coming up into the psychological ranges yet again. This is what I don't like. I don't like this spike into the range. Because when you pay attention to enough altcoins, ladies and gentlemen, you'll start to understand where if some of them are starting to reveal the information of what's truly going to happen. Okay? Because if they're seeing that Coty, for example, it's all really down to market cap itself. Say, for example, you have a batch of altcoins. Now, to move Bitcoin aggressively, it's going to take a lot of time, all right? Or they could just move it at an act of God or something like that, okay? It's going to take a while to move a lot of money in and out of Bitcoin, all right? Altcoins are very volatile. Now, if you start seeing a few altcoins and they're all starting to drop, that could be an indication of what's going to be reflected across the board in the marketplace. Yeah? That's what usually happens in the stock market. This week, we have got all the heavyweights declaring earnings. So everyone's going to be sitting tight waiting. Is this move to the upside an indication that everything's going to start dropping down again? So Mr. Market Maker has grabbed enough liquidity to the upside, grabbed some of the liquidations from the shorts. He's encouraged more longs to get in at this point at the fear of people believing that this is it. Bitcoin could actually turn and continue higher for them to only snap it back down again. Maybe. Speculation. It's a wonderful game. Ren, nice, beautiful move to the upside. I like this. Gives you information and tells you about the strength of the move. Look at the EMAs expanded, fanned out. Now we're going to have an understanding about this move. If it starts breaking into the 5 and 13 EMA, we'll have information. Okay? If it does decide to come into this range, we've got the psychological low as a point of interest, but also we're waiting for the 50 and the 200 to cross. So it's in this point right here, where if the 50 does cross over and price stays in this range right here, then the 200 EMA will cross back over the 50, and then price could then come test the 50, bounce up and go. Hopefully that's the case. Cadena, it's already retraced back down into the range, and now it's holding. Oh, maybe not. It's actually pulled back. Testing the 13 EMA. Oh, now it's back up again. Man, what's wrong with this coin, man? My days. Make your mind up, bro. EGLD, on Binance. Quite a strong, quite a costly coin. Moving to the upside, still can't break that 800 EMA psychological high, yesterday's high as well. Quite an interesting base, if I'm honest with you, because if it can break out of this area here, then we are likely to see further movement to the upside to try and come back into this pool of liquidity. But if they can't break above this structure right here, then this move to the upside, in essence, is probably designed to smack it back down again and come into these previous vector candle ranges. So if people are coming to the charts today, looking at Bitcoin thinking, yeah, baby, it's going to go to the upside. Well, if that Will Smith slap comes around, do not be surprised. Make sure you mark off the vector candle points down below so you are not continuously biased to one narrative. In other words, if you're in a wrong trade, cut your loss, change direction. That strategy is a bit of an old Wall Street saying, okay, but there is more to it, okay? You've got to have the confidence to say, yes, I'm wrong, and yes, the direction favors the opposite of my trade. I'm going to change my trade and go in that direction, okay? Curve has seen some brilliant price action. Absolutely phenomenal price action. So it's quite interesting what we can see with Curve moving to the upside. Again, everything across the board, ladies and gentlemen, has moved up, but we want confirmation. All you need to do, guys, when price is moving to the upside, you are waiting for price to move up, come back down into the retrace zone, and as long as it doesn't come beyond this point right here, ladies and gentlemen, you have yourself a valid move to the upside. They can usually trigger this point right here and break higher. They sometimes might retrace back into it to continue up, okay? But if they don't break beyond this point, then the move up here can consolidate for as long as it wants. But as long as it stays above this, then the uptrend is good to go. We've had the fast move to the upside for Bitcoin today, all right? So we need more information. So we are here right now in this pattern, okay? Going into Bitcoin itself, all we need to wait for Bitcoin to do, in principle, is come down just a little bit more, all right? If it can come back down and then formulate a base in this area here, cool, we would have the structure. Rise, retrace, continuation, all right? A few more minutes now. Going to go onto the daily time frame. Just take off everything on here. Big blue vector candle. Sort of acting like a stopping volume candle. The structure is still good, ladies and gentlemen. We've come down into this point right here on the wick. Happy days. The structure is still good. We haven't broken down lower, although I am anticipating at some point Bitcoin to come into these ranges because they are the imbalances. This is where they can get more people to commit liquidity. Why wouldn't they do that? I advise you pay attention to the next 2 hours and 20 minutes. Why? Because by principle of the blue vector candle, we understand that if they're not going to follow through with this candlestick, the next daily candle may likely recover it. So be careful. When we look at a point like this in the chart, ladies and gentlemen, do not make the mistake of thinking from this point it's going to go down and hit that range. Bitcoin could actually keep going up, test the 50, and then come back down. Happy days. If that's the case, are you going to be in a trade or not? Will it come up towards this point and then retest, come back down again? It's the daily candle. Go on to the 1 minute time frame, 10-minute time frame, 15-minute, 1 hour. Make the commitment, make the decision. Base your information off that time frame. All right? Going into the weekly candle. What did we say? We said that we needed the weekly candle to start off at least close up into the open. It didn't happen. They opened, then they came down with speed, and now they've come all the way back up. So we're in principle working the wick. So as long as on the daily candle, this candlestick, 2 hours to close stronger, then we might actually get a follow through to come up. We still have the 13 EMA, so mark off the 40k 500 zone. Once we get into the 40,500 zone, we'll be going into the previous vector candle ranges. Mark those off in the chart, ladies and gentlemen, so you're aware where the liquidity is going to be transacted the most. Why? Because at the highest point up here, 44k, you will know that Mr. Market Maker has got all these shorts up in this point. This zone right here is stop hunt territory. This range right here is stop hunt territory. So if they're not making their way into this area here, ladies and gentlemen, by their attempts to break out from this zone right here, then we know what they're trying to do. They're trying to trap traders into longs so they can snap them back down again. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for passing through to tonight's live. Again, be sure to like and subscribe because tomorrow I'll be doing the 2 p.m. New York Open live stream where we break down price action in real time and try and grab ourselves some volatility and make an understanding of Mr. Market Maker's intention. Mad love and respect to all you beautiful people. Pattern watchers, I got nothing but love for you all. Take your time and I will catch up with you all tomorrow morning. See you in a bit, gang. Peace.